Cold War is directed by Pawel Pawlikowski and is about a mismatched couple that try to find love in post-war Europe, even though things keep getting in their way. When it comes to foreign language movies, I'm definitely not an expert in that field, but it is something I've been trying to get more of into a lot recently, with movies such as Son of Saul, Victoria, The Hunt, and even the Raid movies. So I would say I'm getting there, but again, I definitely don't know the ins and outs of that area of movies. But that being said, every so often, a foreign language movie comes out and grabs my attention out of nowhere, and this year it was Cold War. From the black and white style to the fact that it's directed by the guy who made Ida, which, if you didn't know, that movie won the Best Foreign Language Picture at the Oscars a few years ago. So there were quite a few aspects to this movie that really drew me to it, and I've got to say, I was pleasantly surprised by this film because this is definitely one of the best movies I've seen so far this year. Cold War is without a doubt one of the most beautifully shot movies I've seen all year. Every single shot is masterfully put together, and they take full advantage of certain aspects like the aspect ratio and the black and white aesthetic to really make it feel like a movie from that time period. There were some shots that even made me think, damn, this could have easily been a movie from the 50s. It's not, because it was made recently, but just everything from the way it looks to even minor little details makes you almost believe for a second that this could have been a movie that came out in the 50s. I also really like the two lead performances in this movie. They do a fantastic job of portraying these broken individuals in a relationship that's actually kind of as damaged as they are. There were times in this movie where you kind of think to yourselves, this relationship really shouldn't be working. But the fact that they are the things that keep saving each other from their somewhat miserable lives away kind of makes you think twice and actually works for the sake of their relationship and for the sake of this story to work. And the fact that, from what I've heard, the couple in this movie is loosely inspired by the director's actual real-life parents and how they met, just kind of adds a bit more of a personal touch to the movie and kind of makes a bit more sense when you look at this relationship and how it plays out. Now, one thing I didn't expect with Cold War is just how big of an impact music plays throughout this movie, whether it be the narrative, the setting, or the characters. Music is always there in the background to kind of connect things together, and it almost weaves in and out of this fragmented love story in a way that kind of feels natural. It's the thing that kind of ties this movie together, and like I said, I really wasn't expecting there to be as much of an emphasis on music as there is in this movie, and I really did appreciate it because it is well integrated into the movie. You've got choral pieces, you've got jazz, you've got salsa even, I think, at one point, and it really does work for the sake of the movie and never feels out of place. It perfectly fits into the style and tone that is set up in the beginning. And again, it kind of makes these characters and what happens in the film connect just that bit more. In the end, I'm going to give Cold War a 9 out of 10. The fact that I didn't quite know what to expect with this film and it ended up being as good as it did really did surprise me. And if you haven't heard of this film, I highly recommend you check it out because I do feel like this one's going to go under the radar and I feel like it needs as much appreciation as it can get. I know it did well at the Cannes Film Festival, but anyone who's not really in the know with these kind of movies really is missing out. So guys, that was my review of Cold War. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Bye.